in there, and everywhere you would try to turn to get out, they had these flower beds built everywhere.
We going on the first drive.
I mean, it was tight. Just even taking all the room you had, I still had to get a hold of one of the flower beds and snatch them land and escape them loose. I guess you probably know by now in these trucks, everything means more. You need more time to stop, it takes more time to get going, and you need more distance between you and the other people. I always say rule number one in trucking, slow down. That's the number one reason how you get in the bind, get in trouble, get in an accident, make mistakes, because you're too big in a hurry. So it's better to miss red lights than blow through it without looking and have somebody hit you in the side. Take your outside lane when you're going through intersections. If there's two, take the second one. If there's three, take the third one. Always go to your outside because you're going to track on the inside with those tandems. Those tires are just about going to go in the other lane. When you get in the middle of your swing, it's going to cut across. So that's why I say always know where your tandems are, because as you're driving through this intersection, obviously know that you're clear on the front right side. Watching that mirror, because sometimes, man, you'll look and you'll be about to get somebody and you got that one chance to tap the brake and not get them. So if you ain't looking at them tires, you'll never know. The same thing like going through like a four-way intersection. It's only 2 lanes instead of a big 4-lane like this. You'll find yourself in situations where you don't have hardly enough room. You'll take all you got out here, and then as you're tracking in there, you'll look back in the mirror and you'll realize you're fixing to take somebody's front bumper off if you don't stop. So you literally have to stop until they move. I mean, that's the only option you got. Don't hit them. So always watch your inside tandem when you're making a turn. Always. Trouble is watching for these road signs. Like, you know, this one's written on the pavement ever so often. No through trucks in the right lane, and we're technically not a through truck, but they still, you know, it's getting a good habit of following the signs and watching the signs, because you'd be surprised how much stuff is on these road signs that you never look at when you're driving your personal vehicle. Once you start reading signs, you'll start seeing stuff that applies to you, and that's a good way to get a ticket. You know, if you drive around in towns and cities, you know, there's special instructions for trucks, whether it's lane restrictions or no truck roads. I mean, that's a big one. You'll see them all over the place. I got a ticket one time on one up in Ohio. I used to deliver glass to a place on the corner of this road, and it was off a real busy road in front of the store, so all the delivery trucks would go past the store and hang a left and pull down that side road. Well, behind that business started a neighborhood right behind that big place. Starts houses. there's probably 10 houses down that street on each side. So when you drive out the end of that street, there's a no truck sign at the other end of it. So I done made that delivery 50 times probably.
You get caught.
I got caught at one time coming out, and honestly, I didn't even know there was a no truck sign because it was over there in the edge. First of all, it was facing the opposite way. It was facing the same way I was going, so you never see it. And then it was over there in a tree had grown up all over it, and the writing was faded out so bad you couldn't even hardly read it, even if you was turning in there. But yeah, a young state trooper. It must be his first day on his own. He wrote me a ticket for that, and I'm like, dude. So yeah, it ain't hard to get in a bind in these trucks, man. It's like somebody's always gunning for you. The law's looking to find something wrong. All these turkeys driving around you is acting like, you're bothering them by being on the road, that they got to be behind you, or you're in the way. So you just have to put up with a lot of crap because of commercial drivers. So you might as well get your skin thick ready for that. Yeah, you're going to get flipped off. You're going to get the horn blowed at you all the time. And it's worse than it ever been as far as these other drivers on the road around you. Since the texting and driving got to be such a big deal the last several years, these cell phones can't hardly nobody drive without having a phone in one hand and a steering wheel in the other. And these folks, man, they'll get all over you. I mean, you'll be driving along and look over and they'll be 2 inches, between you and them because they ain't checking up. So I get on that horn, let them know, get off me.
The city horn or air horn?
I get that air horn a little tough.
The city horn ain't gonna help.
Let them know you mean business. See that one right there is on the phone. They didn't even know the lights on. She's still looking at it as she went by. She's looking straight down in her lap. Maybe some folks can't put it down. Well, if you don't do it, at least put it up there high so you can still see the road too.
Police seeing with the phone.
Yeah, that's what gets you a ticket now, so. And even before all the states started doing it on personal vehicles, like it's illegal in Alabama now to be driving around without a hands-free device. But it's been the law, federal law in commercial trucks for 5-6 years at least. So, if they see you messing around with one, you can get wrote up for that.
There's still no weapons allowed in your truck?
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Well, usually that's company. The only thing, there's no law that says you can't have a weapon in a commercial vehicle. Most of the time, that's company policies that are stating that. And the other thing is, some states, don't honor the reciprocal agreements. Like back when, it's confusing to me now because when you had to buy a pistol license, there was a long list of states that would accept it.
Especially Alabama.
And then there's some that won't. So there's a couple stipulations. If you're just going to carry a gun in a vehicle, A, is it okay with your employer? And then B, we're going to go get on the interstate. And B, is it going to be legal for you to go into another state with an unlicensed weapon or something? So that's the kind of stuff you got to do your homework on. But I'm like, I used to always take a gun with me because I'm like, I can get another job, but you can't get another life if you run into the wrong dude. But man, there's so many idiots now in big trucks that are getting in shooting incidents. I mean, every time I either cut on the news or either I'm on a bunch of them truckers' Facebook pages, so they all the time posting news articles and crap that's going on in the trucking world. But it's just shocking to me how many commercial drivers are shooting out of the commercial vehicles at other people going up and down the road. And you talk about a quick way to get fired, and in distance. You always want to keep a car length distance between who's in front of you, especially on your test. But in the real world, like I said, when we come out of that yard, everything means more. And you stomp on that brake, by the time you stomp on yours, you know, you might not have enough.
Yeah. Or the car could break down, you have no way around it.
Do what now?
I said, or that car could break down in front of you, you wouldn't have a way around it.
Yeah, that happens too. Of course, the amount of room you would need, though, if you was going to bust that move, you would have to back up 50 yards, because when you go around, you don't want to clip him with the trailer on the way by, so you got to get far enough behind him that the trailer will clear if you change lanes and go around him. That happens sometimes.
What would scare me on these tight roads, two trucks side by side, that make me a little nervous, man.
Yeah, it will. I mean, you'll get used to everything in time, but you'll see a lot of things that you're like wondering how in the world they ever got by doing this, because especially when there's three of you, and you're the one in the middle, and there ain't but like 6 inches between all of y'all cars.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta hold it in the road, but keep it straight.
And then sometimes they'll do it when they see if you're nervous. They'll try to get close to you anyway.
Yeah, people.
They watch us.
They bang mirrors and stuff like that from time to time. Everybody's governed at 63 to 65. You end up in these big packs, and you can't. Nobody can pass anybody. So,
most Peterbilt and Mack trucks not governed, right? Most of them.
Well, like I said, it depends on who you work for. I mean, say most companies are running governed trucks now. A big majority of them are. See it as much in like local off-road stuff, like logging, people driving logging trucks and dump trucks and stuff like that. You know, them small businesses probably they don't care so much.
They trying to get as many loads as they can.
Most of these bigger companies, they got government trucks now. They don't want nobody going more than about 65.
Yeah, I drove flatbed or box truck.
Come on, me? Man, I've drove flatbed, box truck, fuel tanker, car hauler, dry bulk.
You get your hazmat?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I drove about 15 years.
We're going to college.
Yeah, we're going to take that next exit up there.
You said 15 years?
Yeah, I've had my CDL probably 18, but you know, I drove truck for a number of years, and then I got out of it once or twice and worked local and stuff. Like this past year, I did maintenance for the railroad. I hadn't drove a truck in over a year when I took this job. So. start driving trucks and these things are loaded, you know, it's gonna
Gonna
feel
push you
different.
down the
You're gonna
hill.
need even more distance and time to slow it down. Because you don't want to hit these ramps hot like this and you got 40,000 pounds in the trailer. You burn the brakes off one by the time you get to the foot of the hill. So it pays to start slowing down ahead of time. So when you hit them ramps, man, you ain't got much left. There you go. You just follow that truck up there in that only lane and turn in. And we'll hopefully have an open island. If not, we just have to pull up behind somebody and wait. This be a good time to talk to everybody.
Like he did.
Yeah, swing a little wide because the concrete's probably jacked up right there. You see where people drove right through there with their tires all through them gutters and curves. Beats your truck and trailer all up, plus it tears that stuff up.
I was saying bad boy, I had plenty of time when I went hard with
Tell
hard
me about it.
Man, all of them they can't get out. Load the truck.
I wonder why ain't nobody in that middle lane. It must be out of commission. It's too bad.
One of them got a.
No, it's got a bag on it.
Mhm.
I can't tell if it's a bag or the handle's just yellow.
I thought the handle was just yellow.
Them turkeys do.
I got one of them in between his JLE truck, whatever it is. It has a ribbon across it. He's gonna try to get it.
Yeah, pull on up. No.
Get that one.
Let's see. We don't want the one on the end.
That's what on the road trip I had when the last term I was driving when our truck got stuck in Jasper. Broke down in Jasper.
Just go ahead and pull up behind one of these three, probably black trailer right there. You want to get behind him. Remember, you want to swing wide. You basically want to aim for that one, and then swing toward them yellow poles to the left, and then straighten up is right before you go through, and that way you won't drag the trailer through there at an angle. Yeah, it's been a good time to talk about truck stop etiquette. Because too many people get over here and start getting fuel, and they'll just leave the truck sitting there and go in the store, take a crap, get them something to eat, make coffee, and then you sitting out here wanting to get some fuel, and all they had to do was pull up and get out of the way, and then you could get in there and get you some fuel. So there's too many folks, man, that don't. You would think that would be a given. Everybody should know that, and you wouldn't have to say it out loud, but trust me. Well, if you get in this line of work, you're going to start dealing with it.
So y'all have words.
Oh, yeah, I've had words with a couple of them. Matter of fact, I had words with a guy right there about 2 o'clock in the morning 4 or 5 years ago. This thing was packed, man. I ain't never. These pilots always packed out, but usually in the middle of the night like that, they're not so bad. But I got him behind that guy. He had been in the store a while, and then he come out and finally got in the truck. Then after he got in the truck, he sat there for like 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm like, what is he doing?
Got people waiting on him.
Yeah, and I finally got aggravated, so I